Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Got a Minute Mini podcast, the podcast that pairs funny humor columns with original music. Today's chapter is entitled, What If Jesus Isn't a Republican? I promise it'll be okay. And then in a few minutes, we're going to hear from singer-songwriter Anjanette. She's going to tell us about her song, Invincible. I love this song. I think you will too. So let's get started.
Got a Minute Mini Podcast is a production of Pioneer Dream, celebrating 30 years of telling stories for our corporate, nonprofit, and entertainment partners. Be sure to check out our Dreamers Live podcast, which offers entertaining conversations about living intentionally.
Chapter 29. What if Jesus isn't a Republican? I grew up the son of devout Republican parents in the 1980s. When I was old enough, I dutifully registered for the draft and the Grand Old Party. For more years than I care to admit, I listened to right-wing radio and I was an early subscriber to Fox News. I even fundraised for the party in college. Now, I know all that sounds sexy, but it was just pretty much textbook stuff in Oklahoma. So, what happened? How did I backslide to the point of becoming a registered independent? Well, a funny thing happened on the way to the voting booth. See, it's not unusual for couples to resemble each other over time. If you're not careful, you'll end up sharing mannerisms, habits, inside jokes, and ugly sweaters. For years, the GOP has wooed the American churchgoer. Now, the distinction between the two is harder and harder to find. A large segment of Christians in America has adopted the personality and values and tone of the right. Even as a Christian and a Republican, I found that troubling. I had to ask myself, what if Jesus isn't a Republican? What if he's not into politics at all? On paper, that seems like a ridiculous statement, but listen to stump speeches, go to rallies, or watch campaign commercials, and clearly politics and religion go hand in hand in America. I spent a lot of time thinking and meditating about this. If political parties were going to adopt Jesus as their mascot, put words in his mouth, and imply his endorsement, was there some scriptural basis for this rhetoric, posturing, and party building? Well, when Jesus was born into this world, the Jewish nation, God's chosen people, had been conquered and inhabited by a foreign army. Jesus himself was subject to assassination attempts, and his family had to flee and live as refugees in a foreign country for years. When they eventually got back to Israel, they couldn't even return to their hometown. They had to relocate to Detroit or Nazareth and keep a low profile. Finally, Jesus turned of age and got an agent who told him, "Look, kid, you've got a great story. We got to get you a book deal." So the agent booked Jesus on a nationwide speaking tour to build his audience. This is it. After a lifetime of abuse, after years of seeing God's people mistreated, subject to taxation without representation, Roman-only radio stations, and a shady court system, Jesus finally had the microphone and audience to say everything he wanted about those Romans. So opening out of the tour, what does he say about those foreign imperialists? Nothing. In fact, he just goes on a rant about meekness and mercy and peacemakers being sons of God. Okay, so he wanted a soft opening. Maybe he was just trying to build a following. Wait till you see what he wrote on his socials. Turns out, during his 3-year nationwide tour, Jesus said nothing about the Romans or politics, aside from that we should pay our taxes and not have a lot of expectations on politics to save us. Well, that's fine, but certainly you can't fault faith groups and Republicans for trying to uphold what's right. We can't give in to the thems or we'll lose our country. That's the next thing I noticed as the American Jesus facade began showing cracks. Amidst all the meanness and arrogance and mocking speech that fuels the us versus them plague in our country, and which we might not recover from, I just couldn't hear that hate speech in the voice of Jesus. The thing is, I've met the thems, and most of them are really nice, wonderful people. They're caring, they're patriotic, they love families, kids, and education. And they're just as scared of your America as you are of theirs. Actually, that's not true. They're just as scared of the extremist American media heads and outlandish party leaders as you are of their extremist. To be clear, I'm not suggesting that Jesus would be a Democrat instead of a Republican. I think he and his message is bigger than all of that. What I am saying as we head into another turn in our endless campaign cycle is let's leave Jesus out of it. If it's going to come down to putting vegan stickers on his cloak or a gun in his hand or a party button on his chest, let's just not. No one gets to own Jesus or claim his endorsement. When we fuse Western values and capitalism into the gospel, we dilute it and create a Frankenstein religion that just confuses people. Christianity, faith, and the scriptures in their pure form are the things we use as filters to decide the legitimacy of everything else. When we cut them with politics, they lose their power. I know it's unlikely that any of this will change anything, but at least we can be honest. When the outrage sets in, we should ask, why? Who's calling us to this fear and rage? Is it the one who invites us to take the plank out of our own eye before taking the speck out of someone else's? Is it the one who stood between the woman and those who would stone her? Is it the Prince of Peace who invites us to hate and argue and treat others with condescension? Jesus doesn't hate the other party, and he doesn't love yours more. And we're not God's favorite nation. That's just nonsense. So, have an opinion and have a vote. Just don't put words in Jesus' mouth in the process. He's already said enough. Well, hello, Anjanette, and welcome back to the Got a Minute Mini podcast. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. That reminds me of that restaurant we went to in Chicago. Have you told this before? We are nice to everyone, frankly, if you know us, we really are. But we went to this place and it was like super trendy, not expensive, but just like super kitschy. The waitress was like really rude, like so rude that I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And you looked at me and you said, don't worry. Well, the name of the place was Minnie's.
Right.
And you looked at me and you said, don't worry, babe. We'll leave her a mini tip.
Yes, and
It's probably the only time we've done that, but she was so rude.
we used to get in trouble for over-tipping.
We're
and that
over-tippers. Anyway, I'm sorry. Mini podcast. I digress. I apologize.
We've invited you here today to tell us about your song, Invincible.
Okay.
What do you remember about the song or the recording process or the story behind what's its origin story?
Its origin story.
Yeah.
I think when I was writing Invincible, we've been working hard at our careers since we started them, but we were really working hard to write and record a lot of music and to try and have that music submitted to different television shows and films and for possible recording by other artists. Anyway, we're really in the thick of it. And the rejection of that for anybody who's been an artist at all, creativity is pretty strong. And I just remember hearing this melody and thinking, oh man, I'm pretty sure somebody else wrote that. Yeah. That's a lot of times if you hear something, you're like, oh, it seems so familiar to you. Yeah. That's too bad. That's really cool. And then I did some research and you're like, I've never heard that. And you know all the songs. Yeah. So anyway, that melody just kind of got dropped in. And it basically just talks about how being loved unconditionally, whether that's via the divine or the people in your life, makes you invincible. Yeah. Because the truth is we're all fighting our own battles, whatever they are. And so, a lot of them aren't seen by other people. Yes. But it's knowing that you're loved and supported and that you're loved enough to be who you really are. Yeah. That does make you invincible. Because I remember that being a painful time. But at the heart of that, I know that I'm going to be okay. So
obviously, I really love the song. That's why I picked it for today. But for listeners, this could be your superhero song or your theme song if you adopt it or whatever. Anyone can use the song as a champion song. So
hopefully, it encourages some people.
Yeah. Let's take a listen.
Go ahead, take your shot, but I will not let you walk all over me. Fire them 1, 2, 3, flying straight for me. but my shield is ready. Quietly I wait, plotting my escape. Nothing you can say could take my faith. I am so much more than this. If you could feel my kiss, you'd see the gold deep inside of me, and I'm so much more than you know. One day it will show, and then you'll see that I'm invincible. They say it's all in my mind. I hear it all the time. And the voices say that I'm not good enough for your love. I'll never rise above the noise. My song won't make it. Quietly I pray. The whispers start to fade. I'll rise up and I won't be afraid. I'm so much more than this. If you could feel my kiss, you'd see the gold deep inside of me, and I am so much more than you know. And one day it will show, and then you'll see that I'm invincible. 1, 2, 3, far away. I won't hear you. I'll push it away. I'm gonna push it away. Words from outside in, thoughts from inside won't get out of the way. They won't get in my way. 'Cause you make me invincible. Invincible. You make me invincible. Invincible. Quietly I pray. The voices start to fade. I'll rise up and I won't be afraid. I am so much more than this. If you could feel my kiss, you'd see the gold deep inside of me. I am so much more than you know. And one day it will show, and then you'll see I'm invincible. You make me invincible. Invincible. You make me invincible. Invincible. You make me invincible. Invincible. You make me invincible.
Thanks for listening. We'd love it if you would like and subscribe to the podcast and then share it with the people you know. Thanks. This has been a production of Pioneer Dream.